US-Israel War with Iran Day 18. 1. Israel killed Iran's top security chief. Ali Larijani is dead. This is the single biggest leadership assassination since the war began on day 1. Ali Larijani was the secretary of Iran's Supreme National Security Council, one of the most powerful surviving figures in the Islamic Republic. The man who personally led Iran's nuclear negotiations with the West just weeks before this war started. Israel struck him on day 18. Iran confirmed his death, alongside his son, a security deputy, and several members of his protection team. Larijani was a pragmatist, a deal-maker, the man most likely to have been Iran's negotiating face if this war were to end diplomatically. He is gone. 2. The head of Iran's Basij paramilitary force was also killed on the same day. Hours after Larijani's death, Israel announced it had also killed Gholam Reza Soleimani, the commander of the Basij. The Basij is the regime's internal security force, the unit that suppressed protests, the unit that crushed the January uprising that killed thousands of Iranians before this war began. The IDF called it a significant blow to the regime's security command and control structures. 2 of Iran's most senior security officials killed on the same day. Day 18. 3. Trump's own national counterterrorism director just resigned over this war. This is the most significant political development inside the US since the war began. Joe Kent, Trump's own appointee as director of the National Counterterrorism Center, resigned on day 18 with a public letter that stopped Washington cold. His exact words, "I cannot in good conscience support the ongoing war in Iran. Iran posed no imminent threat to our nation. And it is clear that we started this war due to pressure from Israel and its powerful American lobby." Trump responded by calling him weak on security. This is the first major defection from inside Trump's own administration. It will not be the last. 4. The US dropped 5,000-pound bunker buster bombs on Iranian missile sites along the Hormuz coastline. CENTCOM confirmed on day 18 that US aircraft dropped multiple 5,000-pound deep penetrator munitions, bunker busters, on hardened Iranian missile sites along the Strait of Hormuz coastline. These are among the heaviest conventional bombs in the US arsenal, designed to penetrate reinforced concrete and underground facilities. Their specific use along the Hormuz coastline signals one clear objective: destroy Iran's ability to threaten ships passing through the strait. The strait is still closed, but the US is now targeting the infrastructure that keeps it closed. 5. Amnesty International confirmed the US killed at least 170 people, mostly schoolgirls, in the Minab school strike. Credible or not? Not sure we can trust anything 100% today. Amnesty International published a full investigation on day 18 confirming that the US was responsible for the strike on a primary school in Minab, Iran, in the opening days of the war. At least 170 people killed, most of them schoolgirls. The US has previously acknowledged the strike likely resulted from outdated intelligence. 6. Iran has reached out to Trump's Middle East envoy trying to reopen diplomatic channels. Trump said no. 2 senior White House officials confirmed to CNN that Iranian officials have been quietly reaching out to Steve Witkoff, Trump's Middle East envoy, attempting to reopen a diplomatic channel. Trump's response, "Not now." Part of the reason, officials said, is that the Trump administration is not confident that Iran's new supreme leader Mojtaba Khamenei is actually in charge. Trump himself said on day 18 he didn't know if Khamenei was dead or alive, making it unclear who Washington could even negotiate with. Iran is trying to open a door. President Trump is not walking through it. 7. The US has lost more than a dozen MQ-9 Reaper drones in combat. ABC News confirmed that more than a dozen US MQ-9 Reaper drones have been lost during operations against Iran, either shot down by Iranian fire or destroyed on the ground by incoming strikes. Each Reaper costs approximately $30 million. These are the same drones used for reconnaissance and precision strikes with Hellfire missiles. 8. The World Food Programme warned 45 million more people could face acute hunger by June. The World Food Programme issued a stark warning on day 18. If the war continues until mid-year and oil prices stay above $100 a barrel, 45 million additional people could be pushed into acute hunger by June. The mechanism is direct. High oil prices mean high fuel costs. High fuel costs mean high fertilizer costs. High fertilizer costs mean food prices spike globally. The countries most at risk, developing nations in Africa, South Asia, and parts of Latin America that were already food insecure before this war began. This war started in Tehran. Its hunger will be felt in places that have nothing to do with Iran, Israel, or America. 9. Israel has now begun limited ground operations in southern Lebanon. On day 18, Israel announced it had begun limited and targeted ground operations in southern Lebanon, Pushing troops across the border to establish what it called a security buffer against Hezbollah, Israel simultaneously issued mass evacuation orders for Tyre, Lebanon's fourth largest city, sparking large traffic jams as thousands fled. More than 1 million Lebanese people have now been displaced, roughly 20% of Lebanon's entire population, over 886 killed in Lebanon since March 2nd. 10. Iran's diplomats tried to open back channels, while simultaneously Iran vowed the strait will never return to what it was. The same day Iranian officials were reaching out to Witkoff for talks, Iran's parliament speaker went on television and said the Strait of Hormuz cannot be as it was before. And Iran's IRGC issued fresh warnings that US-linked industrial facilities across the entire Gulf region face imminent attack. Iran is negotiating with one hand and threatening with the other. That is not a contradiction. That is a strategy. Raise the pain. Force better terms. The more it hurts, the better the deal Iran gets when it finally ends. This is day 18. The strait is still closed.